So today we got some exciting pre-patch news to go over. All honor gains are doubled during the Burning Crusade pre-patch. That's right. And they've actually confirmed that the current PvP gear prices on the PTR are what players should expect to pay once the Burning Crusade pre-patch goes live on January 13th. Some other questions that they did answer were that PvP characters' current honor ranks will be their final ranks prior to the launch of pre-patch next week. So whatever rank you are currently, that is what you will go into TBC, pre-patch, and TBC with title-wise. So if you are rank 10 and you are going for rank 11 for one last week for the title, don't do that. You're PvPing for no reason. Earlier this week, we talked about the prices on the PTR being in their final state, and the prices on the current gear have been increased a couple days ago. We put a post up on YouTube going over that in the community posts, but they have been increased to match their intended amount for pre-patch. And they also gave us news, again, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, that while this pre-patch is a week longer than 2021, we're also going to be doubling honor gains starting on Tuesday when the patch goes live, and it lasts until February the 5th at 3 p.m. PST, basically when the game is supposed to just flip the switch launch. So you may be asking yourself, how much do the current items cost on the PTR? Well, I decided to go and check each vendor and write down basically every single cost of every single piece of gear, accessories. Although we are missing some accessories, I don't have the boots, the wrists, and the belts from level 70, but I have a little Google spreadsheet that I put together going over the cost of every single item, just about, and how much their correlated cost is going into the Burning Crusade. As you can see, the mark cost is still at a reduced rate of just 3 marks, which we talked about the marks being actually probably the hardest part, not the honor. It looks like that as long as they didn't forget to add a 0 in all this is what we can expect mark-wise. The only thing that I will note, and I've mentioned it in multiple videos, is the two-handed cost of weapons seems to be stuck at a value of 47.82 with an incorrect cost for marks. I could imagine that this is just something in the UI that's causing this error and they haven't been able to fix it. But we do have a Google spreadsheet and we're going to go over that all right now. What a flashbang. So I've made this little spreadsheet going over slots, honor, and mark cost for rank gear at 60, weapons at 60, weapons at 70, PvP gear at 70, and also the gem cost and the accessories that we should be expecting coming into TBC. This will be in the description below if you yourself want to A, follow along, or B, share it with your guildmates, or just to have at your disposal. One thing I will note before we get going into this list is, of course, I just spoke about it, the two-handed cost. So what I've gone and done is basically doubled the cost on level 60 two-handers and also level 70 two-handers. I tried using the bow as a reference at one point, but then I currently realized that the bow is normally a reduced rate from the two-handers themselves. If I remember correctly, the bow is not double the cost of the one-handed weapons. If I'm incorrect, go ahead and correct me in the comments below, and I will make sure to edit the sheet, but obviously, on the actual vendors themselves, the bows are showing currently a set price. Again, I've devised a whole spreadsheet, and we're going to go over it real quickly. Now, let's go over the gear cost of some of these items. So, the gloves, the boots, and the shoulders all cost 8,415 honor. The gloves being 2 AV marks, the boots being 2 AV marks, and the shoulders being 2 AV marks. The legs and the head are 13,005 honor with 3 Warsong marks for the legs and 3 AV marks for the head. And the chest is 13,770 honor with 3 AB marks, leading the total cost to the full rank 14 set, or the full rank 12 and rank 13 pieces, to 65,025 honor with 4 AV marks, 3 Warsong marks, and 7 AB marks. So the rank 14 weapons cost 4,782 honor and are all 3 AB marks. The bows Again, I don't know if this is going to be 4,782 honor. I don't know if this is going to be a combination of double or reduced at like 7,500 roughly. The two-handed weapons are 3 or 6 Warsong marks. Again, I don't know. That's why I'm putting 3 and 6. If they come out with a post talking about that, I will fix the Google spreadsheet. That will be in the description below. Two-handed weapons and two-handed staves, though, should be 9,564 honor if they fix and correct it. Otherwise, it is 4,782 honor and either cost 3 or 6 Warsong marks. So a total cost for the full set plus weapons cost 74,589 honor, 4 AV, 3 Warsong, and 13 AB marks. And the same thing with the two-handed. But if you are a hunter, go ahead and add either 4,782 and 3 to 6 AB marks, or potentially roughly around that 7,500 mark. Now, the PvP gear at 70, if you decide to stack more honor than actually purchasing all just the rank 14 stuff, you may be interested in what the level 70 items cost. And how much honor you can stack is 75k. So you can get basically a full set of armor before even hitting 70 if you so choose. The only problem is you will not be able to get Eye of the Storm marks until actual TBC launches, because that is a level 70 battleground. But I figured we can go over that real quickly. So the gloves and the shoulders both cost 10,475 honor for 10 AV marks for the gloves and 10 AB marks for the shoulders. The legs and the helmet both cost 16,665 honor, and the legs are 15 Warsong Gulch marks, and the head is 15 AV marks. And the last piece, the chest, is 17,140 honor and cost 15 AB marks. So the total cost of the new reduced level 70 PvP gear that you yourself should be farming if you are serious about Arena before the 17th when Arena launches is 71,420 honor with 25 AV marks, 15 Warsong Gulch marks, and 25 AB marks, which you yourself can pre-stack for TBC. Now again, I've talked about the two-handed weapons and the staves being extremely cheap on the vendors. So as you can see, the level 70 weapons that are one hand seem to be the correct price with roughly the correct mark cost. But the two-handed weapons and the stave is potentially incorrect. So basically we've just doubled the cost, making two-handed weapons and the staff specifically 31,740 honor with roughly. And again, if these marks are just mirroring because they're mirroring the Warsong mark, I can imagine these are going to be either 20 Warsong marks or potentially even 20 Eye of the Storm marks. Again, if I'm incorrect, let me know down in the comments below. I'm just taking what the PTR has to give information-wise, but this is my guesstimate on what the actual two-hand cost will be. The one-handed weapons, all of them, offhands, shields, will all require 15,870 honor, and they all cost 10 Eye of the Storm marks. The only difference in the outlier here would be the bow, costing 21,165 honor and 20 AV marks. Again, I am unsure if this is technically the correct price. It seems like this lines up with the correct price. Again, I remember bows being slightly cheaper than the two-handed weapons because you had to add them on if you were a hunter specifically. Let me know in the comments down below if you remember what the cost of the ranged weapon slot cost. For the total honor needed for level 70 weapons and gear is 103,160 honor, 25 AV marks, 15 Warsong Gulch marks, 25 AB marks, and if you're two one-handers or shield one-hand or weapon and offhand, it is 20 Eye of the Storm marks. It is the same cost if you were going to go with a two-hand total of 103,160, but you would either add 20 Warsong Gulch marks or 20 Eye of the Storm. Again, I'm unsure if they just copy and pasted the marks and they're incorrect as well, or used the wrong placeholder, but plan accordingly when they decide to fix that. And if not, that's the cost of the two-handed weapons. And if you are a hunter, go ahead and add 21,165 to the total above 103,160, as well as adding 20 AV marks. Now, a lot of people came into the stream earlier today asking me how much honor now will we be getting roughly because the honor is doubled. And most people believe the value is around 600 to 900, with longer games reaching around 1100 honor, meaning most of these weapons and gear pieces are just a few games away for most of you. And considering if the mark cost stays the same as it is on PTR, you don't even truly need to win games to get marks, which will probably, well, was the biggest time sink, and now it's just going to be honor. Most likely why that they doubled honor is because they're not increasing mark cost on weapons. I did also check out the accessories and the gems. So all of the gems except for the inscribed ornate topaz and the potent ornate topaz, because it's a orange gem, are 2,855. And the topazes are more because not only do they have attack power or spell power, they have critical strike rating or spell critical strike rating. There's also the original PvP trinket on the vendor for 2,805 honor. And the PvP trinket that has resilience that's level 70 is 6,640 honor. There's also the talisman of the horde that is on the vendor, and this is a resilience and then a self-heal, and that is 19,045, as well as 5 Eye of the Storm marks. And we also have the cloaks above that cost 9,785 honor with 10 AB marks. The only thing is the gear missing at 70 out of this list is technically the boots, the wrist, and the belt. I was looking for it. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that they are on the vendors in Shat. But obviously they don't have an honor cost on the vendors on Shattrath. They're just a purchase for gold. But I can imagine they're going to cost a certain set amount of honor. They would be on this vendor right here, Lady Palantir, but obviously they are not. So when we get an update of that, I will put that in this spreadsheet as well. I hope all of this information is useful to you. I'm glad that they've confirmed honor cost price for us leading into the pre-patch beforehand. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if this video helped you out, don't forget to like the video as well and share the video with your guild so that way they know how much honor they need to prepare for pre-patch and potentially moving forward into TBC and pre-stacking if they already have a full set of gear. I made this information for the community at large, so I hope it helps out a load of people. If you're working on your pre-stack or TBC release, there will be a link in the pinned comment below for you to grab yourself a nice little discount as well as pick up the pre-stack guide. I hope to see you guys all in Outland very, very soon on the 5th of February. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.